Good afternoon, everyone. The committee would like to welcome everyone to the negotiation meeting for the procurement of cargo forwarding services for the delivery of election-related equipment, peripherals, forms, supplies, and paraphernalia from the Philippines to foreign service posts and vice versa for the 2025 national and local elections. Negotiated procurement under two failed biddings. Considering the presence of quorum, I will now call this conference to order. And before we proceed further, may I request everyone to please stand up for a short prayer.
Let's put our presence in the presence of God. The name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Glorious and blessed God, we place our work and ourselves into your hands. Anoint our creativity, our ideas, our energy, so that even the smallest task may be on. God, when we are challenged, guide us. When we are weary, energize us. In the work that we do, in the way that we do it, bring hope and courage to all with whom we minister within the organization. Bless the members of the Special Bids and Awards Committee, the Technical Working Group, the Secretariat, with wisdom, discernment, commitment, and compassion, and with courage and strength. Rooted in your love, may your face illuminate all activities done in your name. This we pray in your mighty and holy name. Amen. Please all be seated.
Thank you. Secretariat, may we have the attendance, please?
Good afternoon, everyone. The following are present in today's negotiation meeting. From the Special Bids and Awards Committee, we have our chairperson, Director Alan Biabaya. We have our SBAC members, Director Divina Blas Perez and Director Abigail Claire Lacuna. From the Technical Working Group, we have TWG Assistant Head, Attorney Elmer Abad II, TWG members, Attorney Melodine Mata, Attorney Andrew Grace Laura, Attorney Leobert Roland Makatangay, Attorney Princess Caressa Perez, Mr. Juanito Magno II, Mr. Melchor Ogaban, Mr. Romeo Salvador Tomas, Ms. Norbelin Manalo, Attorney Magellan Ferrer, Mr. Arnel Bayer, Ms. Mary Glynn Halaman, Mr. Ariel Versosa, Mr. Arman Castro, Ms. Rosana Sevillana, and Ms. Maricet Benosa. From the Secretariat, we have Head Attorney Fitziclaire Casino Kaigoy, with Assistant Ms. Marian Ada Cruz. Secretariat members, we have Mr. Edgar Apanay, Ms. Maria Teresa Toralba, Ms. Jocelyn Tugas, Ms. Madeline Austria, Mr. Edmund Tamundong, Mr. Patrick Cruz, Mr. Christian Blas, Mr. Bernabe Eman. Also present in today's negotiation meeting from the Procurement Management Department, we have Attorney Juanito Pepito de la Cruz, Attorney Ray Mendoza, Attorney Ruth Angela Dulatas. From the Finance Services Department, we have Mr. Dave Matthew Abalia. From the End User Office for Overseas Voting, we have Attorney Rodil Plancha, Mr. Mark Anthony Salonga, Ms. Jocel Violina, and also from AST, we have Ms. Maria Vina Zamora. For prospective bidders, the following are present: Ms. Grace Rosales, Ms. Elka Rubivar, Ms. Nancy Marquez from RAF International Forwarding Philippines Incorporated, Ms. Bernadette Vivero from All Transport Network, Mr. William Batak from Blue Chip Marketing, Ms. Marisa Bicodo and Ms. Evangeline Panganiban from Transmodal International Incorporated. So that's our attendance for today.
For the conference rules, this negotiation meeting is open to all interested parties. Your questions will only be entertained after the presentation of the SBAC chairperson and the secretary. Questions must be brief, concise, specific, and relevant to the bidding at hand. All questions must be addressed to our SBAC chairperson. Please observe order during the proceedings. Any other utterances which should interrupt or disturb the proceedings shall not be tolerated. And please mute your phones to avoid unnecessary noise. And please maintain the cleanliness of the conference room at all times.
At this point, I now turn over the floor to our SBAC chairperson, Director Alan Francis Villapaya.
Thank you, Secretary. At this juncture, may I present to you the project brief. Once again, the long title of the project is the procurement of cargo forwarding services for the delivery of election-related equipment, peripherals, farm supplies, and paraphernalia from the Philippines to foreign service posts and vice versa for the 2025 national and local elections. This is under negotiated procurement for 2 failed biddings. The funding source is the continuing appropriations, and the authority to procure is the approved updated annual procurement plan for fiscal year 2025. The ABC and scope of the goods and services are as follows. We have 4 lots. Lot number 1 for the Asia and the Pacific. The ABC is 35,411,622 pesos and 14 centavos. Lot number 2 for Europe with an ABC of 40,998,359 pesos and 28 centavos. For lot number 3 for Middle East and Africas, the ABC is 55,549,153 pesos and 66 centavos. And for the lot number 4 for North and Latin Americas, the ABC is 20,085,393 pesos and 52 centavos. The total ABC for the project is 152,044,528 pesos and 60 centavos. The ABC is VAT exempt. For the first cycle of bidding, we conducted our pre-procurement conference last September 24, 2024. The project is under PR number 24-09-1578 copy of which was received by the SBAC last October 14, 2024. The invitation to bid was published last October 19, 2024 at the PhilJets and COMELEC websites, as well as at the COMELEC LED TV information wall and the SBAC information bulletin board. The pre-bid conference was conducted October 28, 2024, and the deadline for the submission of bids was last November 12, 2024 at 9 a.m., while the opening of bids was at 10:30 a.m. on the same date. The result of first bidding was that there were no bids received, hence the failure of bidding. As required by the rules, a mandatory review was immediately conducted by the SBAC. And on the same date, the SBAC has received an email from the Office for Overseas Voting informing the committee that there will be no revisions to the terms of reference and advising the SBAC to proceed with the posting of invitation to bid as discussed during the mandatory review of the bidding. We proceeded to the posting of the invitation for the second cycle of bidding last November 14, 2024. And the deadline for the submission was scheduled for December 9, 2024 at 9 a.m. and the opening on the same date at 10:30 a.m. Again, there was a declaration of failure of bidding, again because there were no bids received. A mandatory review was conducted on the same date, and on December 23, 2024, we have received the revised terms of reference with the following revisions. One, that the qualification criteria to include bidders with proven experience in smaller scale projects but with strong logistical and operations capabilities, accept bidders with aggregated contracts over the specified period, equaling the required value rather than a single contract. And number three, to divide the projects geographically into four manageable lots. That's Asia and the Pacific, Europe, Middle East and Africa, and North and Latin Americas. For the third cycle of bidding, the invitation to bid was posted December 27, 2024. And the pre-bid conference was conducted January 6, 2025. The submission was set for January 24, 2025 at 9 a.m. And the opening of bids was at 10:30 a.m. on the same date. The result of the second or third bidding was that the BAC declared the third failure due to the ineligibility of the loan bidder. The loan bidder then was RAF International Forwarding Philippines. Again, the mandatory review as required was conducted on the same date. On January 31, 2025, we have received a copy of the memorandum of Director Ian Michael G. Giananga to the Commission and Bank relative to the proposal of the OFO to deputize the Department of Foreign Affairs to handle the project cargo forwarding services for the 2025 NLE. And on February 12, 2025, we were informed that the Commission and Bank has approved the above-mentioned proposal. On March 4, 2025, Director Giananga again submitted a memorandum to the Commission and Bank regarding the following. One, that the DFA has formally declined its deputized role, thus recommended to repeal Minute Resolution number 25-0163. Second, to request approval to proceed with the negotiated procurement for the project. And number three, to change the mode of procurement in the APP from competitive bidding to negotiated procurement for two failed biddings. This was approved by the Commission and Bank on March 12, 2025. On March 18, 2025, Director Giananga again submitted a memorandum to the Commission and Bank requesting for the approval of the amended terms of reference, which was approved on March 20, 2025. The updated APP was approved by the Commission and Bank on April 2, 2025, and the SBAC has received the approved purchase request on April 4, 2025. Accordingly, we proceeded with the posting of invitation for the negotiated procurement last April 4, 2025. And we have sent invitations to at least 3 suppliers. Number 1, we have RAF International Forwarding Philippines Inc. Number 2, to Blue Chip Marketing. Number 3, to All Transport Network Inc. And number 4, Transmodal International Inc. We have issued the supplemental bid bulletin number 1, dated April 10, 2025. The opening of proposals is scheduled for April 15, 2025 at 10:30 in the morning. The notices for the scheduled negotiation meeting and bid opening conferences were sent to the following last April 4, 2025. To the steering committee headed by the Honorable Chairman, George Erwin M. Garcia. To the Office of the Chairman, Director Esther L. Villaflor Rojas, Head Executive Assistant and Head of the PMO. To the Project Control Group, headed by Director Celia B. Romero. To the Executive Director, Japisto E. L. Nas Jr. To Director J. Tadeos P. Hernan, Director 4 of the Administrative Services Department, and to Ms. Maria Vina de Zamora, Chief Administrative Officer, Property Division of the ASD. To the Director 4 of the Office for Overseas Voting, Director Ian Michael Yananga. To Director Maria Leia Alarcon, Director 4 of the Procurement Management Department. To Director City Maimona Aziza G. Altawagon. To Director Bea Sonia Bea Will Osada of the Internal Audit Department, and to Director John Rex Villajaco, Director 4 of the Education and Information Department. The following observers were likewise sent copies of the notice on the same date, April 4, to the Honorable Eleanor G. Pancho, Supervising Auditor, Office of the Resident Auditor, Commission and Audit. To Attorney Rona Ann Caritos, the Executive Director of Lente. To Mr. Eric Jude Alvia, Secretary General of NAMFREL. To Mr. Ruben J. Pascual, Secretary General of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And to Ms. Evelyn R. Singson, the National Chairperson of the PPCRP. So that's for the brief for this project. Now may I request our Secretariat to please briefly discuss the technical and financial requirements for this project. Thank you.
So we now move on to the second part of our negotiation meeting, which is the discussion of the technical and financial documents to be submitted by the bidders. But first, I would just would like to explain the sealing and marking of bids that we will use for this project. So we're using two envelope system, that is the technical component envelope and your financial component envelope. So the technical component envelope, this is the documents. So the technical component envelope consists of your legal, technical, and financial documents. And if applicable, your Class B documents, which is your joint venture agreements and other documents. So for the financial component envelope, so for each lot being bid, so the financial component is your bid proposal. So first is your fully accomplished and signed bid form. So please use the prescribed form, which is the Annex G. Price schedule form, you may use your price schedule, Annex G1 and or Annex G2, and the ASD financial proposal per Annex DORB. Corresponding Excel files of the accomplished financial template shall be in a USB. So ito po yung diagram ng ating sitting and marking of bids. So if you will notice, yung kung nasa left side is your technical component envelope. So ito pong nasa gitna, this is your bid proposal, your bid submission. So inside your bid submission, you have two envelopes. This is the technical component envelope and your financial component envelope. So first, for the technical component envelope, you have four envelopes inside. That corresponds for your main copy, copy 1, copy 2, and copy 3. So if um, there are discrepancies between the main copy and the other copies, yung copy 1, 2, 3. So the main copy shall prevail. Okay po? What does it mean? I'll just explain lang po. So if, for example, you submitted an OSS or the Omnibus Sworn Statement, if ever, dun po sa inyong copy 3, hindi nyo na-submit is the signed OSS. But in your main copy, nakita po ng back and TWG, at it is signed, so okay pa tayo dun since ang magpe-prevail po is the main copy. If the other way around, yung copy 1, 2, and 3 nyo ay may sign, tapos sa main copy nyo hindi nyo na-sign, so that will cause your ineligibility. Understood po? Okay. For the financial component, so each lot being bid po, inside your financial component envelope, kung 4 na lots po ang inyong sasalihan, so you have 4 sublots or 4 subfolders. It corresponds for lot number 1, lot number 2, and lot number 3. And then, dun po sa lot number 1, you have 4 envelopes again. That's your main copy, copy 1, copy 2, and copy 3. Main copy is your original copy, duplicate po yung copy 1, 2, and 3. And again, if there are discrepancy between the main copy and the duplicate copy, the main copy shall prevail. Any questions po? All right. For the marking of your bids, so please use this diagram. So please address it to the Special Bids and Awards Committee, Automated Election Systems, Commission on Elections. Please put in the name of your company, the address of your company, the project name, and the project ID number. And please indicate also the lots you are being bid na sasalihan nyo. And also please indicate the kulatilla do not open before. That is the date of the bid opening, date and time of the bid opening. Any questions, ma'am, sirs? Thank you po. So I'll now turn over the floor to the SBAC Secretary, Attorney Pritzy Claire Kaigoy.
So good afternoon, everyone. So let's go to your technical component envelope. This is a negotiated procurement, but we still need these documents. First, your legal documents. Of course, you need to have your valid field jobs registration certificate, platinum membership. This is, of course, pursuant to GPPB Resolution Number 51-2021. The bidder shall only submit a valid and updated field job certificate of registration and membership in lieu of Class A eligibility documents. Then, submission of your statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract or your SLCC per Annex B of Section 9 of the bidding forms. So refer to Annex B of the bidding documents. So for this project, similar contract would mean contracts involving shipment and delivery of goods such as documents, supplies, or equipment from the Philippines to foreign countries or vice versa. Relevant period needed, completed within 8 years prior to the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. And a bidder must have a single contract that is similar to the project and whose value must be at least 50% of the ABC, or you may submit at least two similar contracts, the aggregate amount of which should be equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC of the lot being bid, provided that the largest of the similar contracts must be at least equivalent to the 25% of the ABC. Any of the following must be attached to your SLCC and user's acceptance, official receipt, or sales invoice. And the bidder may use the same completed contracts for each lot being bid, provided that the submitted largest completed contracts complies with the conditions provided for in clause 5.3, section 2 of the instructions to bidders and section 3 of the bid data sheet. So refer to Annex B. This is the format for the submission of your SLCC. So this must be certified correct by your authorized representative. So just a reminder, collection receipts cannot substitute for the submission of the official receipt. So there is a NPM for that. Submission of your bid security in any of the following forms: notarized bid securing declaration per Annex C of Section 9 of the bidding forms. So for Lot 1 for Asia and the Pacific, the amount of bid security, if in cash or cashier's or manager's check, should be 708,232.45. If in surety bond, it will be at 1,770,581.11. For Lot 2 Europe, the bid security for cash is at 819,967 pesos and 90 centavos, and if in surety bond, that is 2,049,917.97. For Lot 3, Middle East and the Africas, if in cash or cashier's manager's check, it is at 1,110,983 pesos and 8 centavos, and if in surety bond is at 2,777,457.69. And for Lot 4, North and Latin Americas, if in cashier's manager's check or in cash, it should be at 401,707 pesos and 88 centavos, or if in surety bond is at 1,004,269 pesos and 68 centavos. So please note that bidders shall submit a bid security for each lot being bid. So refer to Annex C if you're going to submit bid securing declaration as your bid security. And of course, this must be notarized, signed and notarized. So signed by your authorized representative also. Conformity with Section 6, schedule requirements. Conformity with Section 7, technical specifications. Duly signed and conformed terms of reference appended as Annex TOR, which contains all the terms and conditions of the project and made integral part of the bidding documents. We also need these documents: Civil Aeronautics Board or CAB certificate to operate as air freight forwarder, provider, or its equivalent. The list of your existing branches, offices, service areas with address and telephone or facsimile number in the Philippines and abroad, at least one per continent or region of the lot being bid. For lots being bid, deployment plan, which will contain, among others, the mode of transportation, timelines, fleet, staffing pattern for actual operations, tentative location of hubs and estimated floor lot area, security plan, contingency plan, copy of inland marine insurance, accreditation with FTEB or the Fair Trade Enforcement Bureau of the Department of Trade and Industry, notarized sworn statement of the provider, certifying that it has operations in the post listed in the terms of reference, valid and existing email account, proof of existence of bidders updated and maintained website, project management plan, which shall include provider's project management team, work allocation and responsibilities of the members of your project management team, change request, risk management and problem resolutions. And next is the submission of your OSS or your duly signed omnibus sworn statement. There is a form for that. Please refer to Annex D of Section 9 of the bidding forms. With attached document, in case of corporation, duly signed and notarized secretary certificate, board partnership resolution or SPA, whichever is applicable, if you're a partnership or cooperative. In case of joint venture, duly signed and notarized special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture, giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and do acts to represent the bidder, or in case of sole proprietorship. So this is the form for your OSS. Please refer to Annex D of the bidding forms. It must be notarized and duly signed by the authorized. Okay, let me just mention that the statement of ongoing contracts will be submitted during post. So we no longer require it during the opening of your sealed proposals. So sa post ko na po yun sa ongoing contracts. So for your net financial contracting capacity, we will require you to submit that during post ko. So during the opening of your sealed proposals, yun yung namin natin. But if nandyan natin, okay. But for your NFCC and ongoing, sa post ko lang po namin. So for the financial component envelope, will be discussed by Ms. Maria Nadal.
Good afternoon po. So for financial component envelope, yung tatlo po yung sasabihin nyo. Una po, per lot na sasabihin nyo po. Una po is yung financial aid form po, Annex G. Dito po nakalagay yung per lot. And then yung next po is yung rate schedule. Doon naman po nakalagay yung billing breakdown. Paano po kayo nakaka-up sa inyong bill. And then next po is yung financial proposal na provided po ng DST na sa bidding docs din po. And then po, kung participate po, i-send din po namin yung copy ng Excel file kasi isabit nyo po yan kasama yung USD form po. Na pagka po sinabit nyo yung USD financial proposal. So ito po yung mga form po. So, ito po yung financial template ko na LSD. So, para last year ko sa sabihin po kayo dyan. And then, meron din po dito yung details ng financial proposal ko LSD. Yung Excel na po nito, isasabihin po. And then, yung next po is yung LSD. Ito po, yung forms. So, for that din po, dito po yung mga invoices or figures ensure dito siya level as ABC of the value na if there's a discrepancy between the among invoice and among figures among invoice should be and then same with others. Actually, kanina is yung price schedule. So, meron po dalawang formulas with GDP but it's up to the figure to choose kung ano yung gagawin nila, either and or. So dito po, makikita nyo sa form, may mga nilagay na po dyan ng GPTV kung paano po kayo makapag sa computation. For example, for this Annex G2, sa column 9, may nakalagay po dyan ng lookup is column 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8. And then sa column 10, column 9 multiplied by column 4. And make sure po na lahat po ng columns here ay should be filled up. And just a reminder po sa ating mga figures, dun sa column 7, ito po. Dun sa column 7, dun nag-include po sa computation nyo ito, percent VAT as a project po ay VAT exempt. And then, kung meron po other taxes applicable, just specify po yung mga traffic code access na yun. And then also, indicate po kung i-feel nyo naman po may government po or may covenant name. For example po yung dito sa incidental services po. Kung i-feel na kay covenant, ilalagay na lang applicable. So, or blank, dapat po zero or dash na po. Then po, another po is that pwede niyo po here po, yung itemize niyo po dun sa price schedule niyo po all goods and services offered from the state within the Philippines, and you may refer to Annex POR po. And should there be discrepancy between the build up price schedule, basically po yung financial template po na binigay ng ASP na nakatouch ng docs, yung price schedule po yung so that's all po. And also po is must send the authorized representative of that's all po. At this point, sir, we are now ready for questions.
Thank you, Secretary. As we have earlier mentioned, the aspect is people in number. Just for the record, and then just read. Yeah. This is 2025. Yeah. As to the chairperson, I received a letter from Mr. Lee representing inclusive just for the record, this is the pertinent information or the discussions as translated in the letter. The letter states we respect to submit this letter to clarify our compliance with certain documentary requirements. Number one, sub certificate. Our company, Inclusive Marketing, does not directly engage in airplane or operate aircraft for the transportation of goods. Instead, we have an active and valid service agreement with DHL, a globally recognized logistics provider and a accredited airplane forwarder. All air transportation services required under the project will be executed through DHL under this agreement. We are submitting DHL's valid car certificate and our service agreement with them as part of our eligibility document to demonstrate full compliance through our authorized logistics partner. We trust that the intent of the car certificate requirement is to ensure that air transport services involved the delivery are legally compliant, technically capable, which our DHL partners will fully satisfy. Therefore, we expect the request an exemption from the requirement for a company to hold a separate car certificate. Number two, for the FTL certificate, we likewise request exemption from the requirement for certificate from the Fair Trade Enforcement Bureau under the GTI. The FTL jurisdiction primarily pertains to domestic trade matters, including local shipping and transportation related to state retail and consumer complaints, pertains and licenses for domestic sales, promotion, business operations, monitoring, enforcement of fair trade practices within. Since the scope of this project involves international shipments and our company is not conducting local retail activity or consumer-facing promotional campaigns, the FTEL certificate double. Number three, proven track record recommendation for streamline process or direct contracting. So the letter states that we'd like to highlight that since February 28, 2025, Governor OPPO has officially engaged our services to deliver initial directed materials internationally. We have successfully carried out this assignment under diplomatic cargoes, and we are pleased to share all the documentation of our transaction. And further, in light of this, considering that the present procurement is under the negotiated procurement policy, we respectfully recommend the following options based on GPTT guidelines. Streamline the GPTT requirements, retain only the basic requirements, legal, budget, technical, SLCC, financial, and SCC, and letter B, direct contracting. Pursuant to Section 50 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184, direct contracting may be applied in cases where the supplier has proven capability and exclusive access to required services as a track record of delivery installed, where time is of the essence, the national interest. We refer this to the end user and the that response and deeply use our vehicle. Again, for the record, maybe advertising is the answer to the letter of the
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So regarding the top certificate, um, these are the responses to the request. While public also recognized blue chips from partner courier, the DHL, which holds the necessary authorizations including the top certificate, it is important to note that the contract for this engagement will be entered into by between the public and the media, not with the biggest partner or stakeholder. As such, all legal, regulatory, and technical compliance requirements must be satisfied directly by the regulator. Again, the tax certificate ensures that the entity is duly authorized to engage in air transport services within or to from the Philippines and is compliant with applicable aviation and transport regulations. This is particularly crucial to the forwarding services required under this project, which involve the free transportation of sensitive and time-critical production related materials. As for the EFTA certificate, our response is the EFTA certificate issued by the DTI verifies that the entity is compliant with trade-related regulations and is authorized to operate in a fair, transparent, and legally sound manner within the Philippine market. While the project involves international shipments, it still falls within the jurisdiction of national regulatory oversight, especially in terms of importation, customs clearance, and local handling processes. The FDA's certificate helps ensure that the service provider is operating within the bounds of Philippine trade laws and possesses the credibility and legal authority to engage in forward services. Thus, FDA's certificate is not used. As regarding the direct contracting, our response was direct contracting cannot be adopted in lieu of the present negotiated procurement process, as there are clear legal parameters under RD 91 that constitute the observed. The current procurement already falls under the negotiated procurement modality, and alternative methods allowed by the procurement law for specific situations. While it's more flexible than a regular public bidding, it still comes with its own set of procedures, eligibility criteria, and a competitive process that must be followed. There is a practice as defined in Section 50 of the Laws IRR is reserved for a very specific exception. Like when the supplier is the only source of proprietary goods or when no reasonable alternative exists. Even in those instances, it requires storage and distribution. Approval from the head of the secured entity and supporting documentation like market analysis. These conditions don't apply in this case, as you are not able to receive on the nonetheless, due to the mode of procurement being pursued, will be negotiating procurement, specific details on the two on needed to discuss. So that's our dear routine. It's already issued and it can be accessed in the project and public. And we have sent two copies of that physically earlier.
Thank you. On the requirement of the past certificate and test, maybe just important just for the record. First, maybe no problem. from international forward. About whether you're compliant or not with the requirement of out and so usually other. And for all the and for transmodal in the how about with our SNCC requirement? Because if we can follow that was one of the problems for this qualification. Because if we remove, we have not age limitation, we have not divided limitation of our SNCC. It is defined as treatment and delivery tools such as documents as a treatment from the elements used for therapy or analysis. Do you have any questions?
Um, here. For the SLCC, our interpreter, is the content is part of the group of candidates or government or it is always that we government voice the beings. No contract. According to school SLCC, any of the following must be in which as or pero should I have a contract? We need to see the contracts.
Kasi ang evidence of some modern documents that will serve as documents na meron siyang yung pinagdalihan na ay yung edit siya sa set as officials like persons and voice. So how can we have these documents na wala kayong contract na mapakulo?
During the outage.
Yes.
During the week of release, you can require only 10 of these documents. Right? The copy of the contract may be required during the post qualification. Yes, sir. Your question? Michael, if you have the microphone.
The same mind, just the schedule. This one comment on the SLCC. Some GPT, it's automatic that the last part is the choices are the proof for the commission. But you have to prove obviously that you have to be the contract. So the contract must be attached during the submission. Some GPT. The last three will be the proof of completion. But you have to prove also first that you have completed contract. So that's why on the template of the SLCC, it's written that you have to submit a NOVA, contract or a PO, then the proof of completion. So the choice there is for the last part.
So, yes, sir, during the opening of your suit proposals, we require the template, which is the statement. And then may nakalagay, mag-attach lang kayo any of those documents na na-mention. But as to the contract, we will need that during the post-contract. Pero hindi naman nagkakalayo eh. Kung dedicated, hindi naman 5 days, hindi po pa so parang may time kayo. Pero hindi natin din siya. Might as well, kung meron na kinaka-ready dyan, hindi na natin during the opening. Pero kasi kung magpapasabit ka rin po, post-con, dedicated na kung after 2 days, magpapasabit na ka. So kung ano lang tayo, medyo dinidili lang natin, ganun din, hahanapin din namin yung contract. So, not as stringent as in 5 days, katulad lang sa public meeting pag sa post or requirements. Pwede kami mag-require ng after 2 days or after 1 day na. Bukas isabit na at wala kang malibabakita during the student proposal. So it doesn't matter if you submit it during the open with the student proposals or then after 2 days, 3 days, ano din, you have to come up with the content.
What's important is you have to ensure that you indeed have that thought. Kahit na ito lang required in the open. Should be good enough. That's why you don't required. You should be able to do it. Because if you're not, then that is still a create or possible.
The market also has addition.
Yes, please.
Just to clarify lang po yung addition po just for one. Sa rules po ng Marine Naval Paper, particularly in GPPB Resolution 16/2020, which form part of the IRR, ang pinaka-submit po sa non-receivers is the statement of either single largest completed contract. Remember, in your omnibus word statement, nakalagay po doon na lahat ng statement po, document na sinasabit yung may bank ay true, genuine, at lahat po yun ay in existence. So during post-qualification, that's the time when the bank po will verify or validate kung tama ba, totoo ba yung nilagay nyo dun sa mga sinabi nyo. At part po ng to-verify at or validate po ng bank to the technical workflow is i-record kayo to submit copy ng contract nyo. But for purposes of bid submission, ang hinihingi lang po dun sa rules po is ipag-attach po kayo ng code na completed na talaga yung nilagay nyo dun sa statement of entries nyo. So, which po, may tatlo kayong options to submit, either end user's acceptance, or sales invoice, or official. Thank you. Can you show the template again for the statement of receivables? So that's Annex B, yan. That's Annex B. So, ito, plano naman talaga yung name of contract, o dun sa first page ng contract, makikita natin yung supply and delivery of whatever. Tapos yung date ng contract, so, yung times, kung anong delivery nyo, tapos yung contract. So, this is a contract. So, we need that contract. And date of delivery, tapos any naman.
Any other questions? Sir, do you have a question? Yes.
Actually, going to the utility in grant, and I respect whatever the decision of the expert. But if just ask directly, what would be the difference if you of givings if now the negotiated procurement aside from the free bid of fee? Because basically the fee it's only not just get givings, three of givings already, and the requirements are exactly the same. The procedures are exactly the same. And even the submission is still required for copies. But you know, I just cannot understand what would be the main difference in distinguishing procurement. So that we discussed it later.
Thank you po, sir. First, sir, hindi po siya exactly the same. Una po, dun sa pagdating po nakita niyo po yung timelines from today, from negotiation meeting, magkakaroon po tayo ng submission of your proposal tentatively on April 15, 2025. Sa competitive bidding, dapat po yun within at least 12 calendar days from the conduct of the pre-bid conference. So definitely dun po lang po, hindi na siya exactly. Pangalawa po, sir, yung sa statement of ongoing contracts and then sa NFCC, hindi na po siya kasama doon po sa isa-submit nyo as part of your bid proposal, pero hihingin po yun sa inyo during post-qualification stage po, in case po ma-declare kayo as a bidder with the lowest calculated proposal. And third, ang yung third po, nasa rules po kasi na, ito po, ipapakita ko po sir, na prerogative po ng Business Committee kung ano po yung mga i-require na mga technical documents po ng sarapan. Answer. So, and then for your report, si Papa, at sa mga nag-attend ng mga previews, nag-level kami na pwede na mag-participate. So, sa competitive bidding, hindi ko yung ginagawa. Diretso lang po yun na posting. But with negotiated procurement, since lahat na kayo ay nag-participate, ay nag-attend man ng pre-bid or any interaction na ako. So, pinadalan din po ng letter ng SBAC para po kayo po ay itindahan sa negotiated procurement. And dito po sa rules, nakalagay din po dito, during this negotiation meeting, ito po ginagawa po natin. Ito po yung, parang po siyang kapareho ng private conference. O sa private conference kasi may specific period din po na dapat nasagot, diba, kasi 7 calendar days before issue of before submission ng bid proposal. Dito kasi, sa negotiated procurement for two buildings, walang specific na timeline po, no? Pagdating dun sa issuance ng mga bid bulletin prior to the receipt of bid proposal. So dito, during our negotiation meetings, that's the time na you can, yun nga po, yung tinatanong po kami na share, you can air your concerns, ano po ba dun sa mga technical requirements, yung okay po sa inyo, hindi okay, and then ano yung mga pwedeng i-negotiate na mga terms na nasa terms of reference or nasa project po. So para maging successful po yung negotiated. Yun. Yes, I may also have to share. There are certain requirements that is non-negotiable. Like for this forwarding project, hindi namin pwede manip. Some public I don't know with other agencies, we cannot specify the cost certificate. Kung lahat kayo wala niyan, medyo problematic. Pero since kung isa naman wala, and sad to say, tapos yung iba meron, that we cannot negotiate. So, yun lang po siguro.
Yes, sir. Okay. Okay. Number one, yeah, I fully understand the negotiated procurement procedure. But basically, the date is August, mas iisip ang bagay. Ongoing analysis, but still, it's very clear that we have to do legally, technically, and financially. So even if we distance now, the NCC will still require with the cost funds to the same. I'm being single with the no cow, but I want to make it clear also that for the past 2 meetings, sorry to put co-leaders here, uh, no one with cows that even join. So it's, the problem is not only with cabinet, so basically, it's not an issue of cows, but it's not because I don't have a cow that I did, it's a failed meeting. Basically, even this leaders that has comprehended also failed this meeting. So what's my point is that, sorry, I will not argue with you. Sorry, I'm not here to argue. I understand if you want to, because proving a logistics company is basic also. You can see in the three, you're a logistics company. But I have a major point here. Um, somehow, basically, the DFA official and official service provider DFA, where there's no covenant that there's part of DFA. Number two is the covenant of hope. Recently, the success delivery of this initial election materials. We do not have covenant. We deliver. So maybe again, I will not argue, but I will press it to the SBA for you to reconsider what, but it's really uh, my point is that no covenant that it doesn't mean you cannot deliver. So, um, yeah, so I'll just rest on that note. I have three more questions. I just rest it to the next bucket. Sorry, but I understand there will be no more time already to respond to this, so I don't have to write it again.
Yes, sir. We understand the position of Mr. Batman. As mentioned by the secretary, this is the requirement, particularly the hub and the FTEP. Once with the approval of the commission. So that is something that at our level we cannot do away with. And on the observation, Mr. Batang states that there were no bidders with those documents. We did not participate. During the third bidding, the bidder, uh, yeah, who participated was with these documents. So we had a bidder with this document. They were just disqualified another.
Sorry, just
Yes, sir.
exactly the point of even if you do the sorry, practice even if the in a net that we still disqualify because of so that's my point. Leaders in the company and doesn't even deem eligible person. But anyway, sir, I want to argue with the chair.
In there, sir, maybe just note then also from the other two bidders, all transport and transmodal, as to why they did not participate. Yeah, what are the issues they have with this procurement? Why they did not participate in our bid? Have you participated in our previous bidding?
Able to complete to complete all the requirements of the dates that is with. So, hindi na lang po namin yung hindi na kami aabot, sir. Dahil
That time,
this time we will try to comply all the
Again, as earlier mentioned, the opening dissertation is already 15 session. So please take note. And how about for, for
For all transport naman po, yung previous, we also attended, but unfortunately, due to dates, receipt of yung details ng overseas uh, address ng overseas ng mga PSA po. So we're not able to gather dates from our overseas agent. So right now, since we have all the details, we can definitely send in our proposal.
thank you. So, maybe no, the personal issues. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, please.
First to the, basically the most of the, so basically, I believe the bank, the staff, it can, won't be the, maximum is 20%. So basically, we are expecting, even, because even the answer of, the people is saying, is that, yeah, I agree that, cost of the moment is the bigger and not the third party. So basically, can I also align this that the loss of contracting means also that the bidder himself align to the own branches. So because I don't think anybody can have can even support less than 20% of this project. We're talking about 93%, 93 worldwide across the world. So we don't sell their own branches. But if they will support it even in a, in a partners, that's also third party.
You have a comment before we.
Let me just clarify, yung understanding ko for the subcontracting because I've been forward, I've been a service provider from other companies like that. So from what I understand, subcontracting is yung tipong, hindi, if ever na kami yung panalo, hindi kami allowed to pasa dun sa forwarder na to para sila yung mag-direct na makipag-usap po sa Comelec. So yung, sorry, William. So yung sa amin po kasi, we have our own agents. They are not our branches, but they are our agents. We have agents overseas po. Kaya po very confident kami na kaya namin sumali dito na makakuha ko ng leads and may deliver po yung mga paraphernalia ng Comelec. So, hindi ibig sabihin na kukontakin namin sila to get their leads and to get their service, isasabkon na po namin sila. Of course, sila po yung partner namin doon para ma-deliver namin, ma-execute namin yung project for the Comelec. So that's, yun po yung at saka kami po yung, we are the one na we are responsible po kung ano man yung mangyayari. Dito, responsible kami to para sabihin kay Comelec kung ano man yung mangyayari. And the delays or everything, hindi po namin ipapasa doon sa aming mga agents. Thank you.
Yes, that's correct. That is the concept of the subcontracting as that. Or maybe we can ask the user for clarification.
Sir, with regard to subcontracting po, I agree with all the answer mo also. Ang hindi lang po yung obligation to papasa mo sa kakontrata mo. But ang importante nito is yung obligation with either the seller and the government. So hindi po subcontracting yung sinasabi na parang agent yung agent.
Thank you. Sir.
Basically, we call that agent, basically it's the same thing. Anything that is not under your name is already that's also the point of the viral videos circulating basically it's an agent in the province. And again, I respect whatever decision you. Can I have yes, please. There. Regarding to the schedule of performance, for the schedule of performance, the people who started later than people 21, the big submission is equal. Basically, it's already already. So, not later than 21, so each 10 of the so it's the should be pick up less or not later than people 20. So there will still be possible after it was 16.
Maybe the end user can answer. Pero with regard dito po sa schedule requirement, ang napag-usapan po namin is yung kailangan lang po may deliver at receive post lahat po ng papadala sa kanila by May 1 to 5 po. Since hindi na po talaga accessible sa QR, i-request yan. So, i-adjust po namin to May 1 to 5. Kailangan po receive lahat ng post.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
yes, Attorney Rubin, we need a document for that so that we can issue a big bulletin that will serve as guidance to our leaders. Kasi para hindi na tayo mag-negative order. So, yes, definitely, makakaya ito 21, pero as mentioned by the end user, meaning 1 to 5 for the budget. Yes, sir.
so this is really the apartment.
Yes, sir.
So if you are going to take a case that maybe you have to public information before you will issue the
Yes, sorry. So, anyway, this will have the regardless if we are going to this will have the last question would be ADC because somehow we already did our step because to be honest, we already transferred a major bulk already for the forward logistics and somehow we have an amount, a very small amount only. Masyado malaki rin ang nasa ADC. Or what we have volume already.
please clarify.
Yung nag-iwan na lang po na yung forward are CCS plates, one main and one contingency. Yung CCS kits po, it contains yung TV box, laptops, mouse, USB, and then the rest, lahat po ng nag-forward na doon, through diplomatic pouch, yun po yung kasama sa reports.
Yes, at least to share also this, because we're looking at a very big issue. I don't know if it's proper if I share how much was only the amount for the forward and then given the natitira, nakakalit na, we're not even 100% the ATC for the forward. So, obviously, kung hindi forward mo, hindi naman 11% test pa nga. So, we're not even for the ATC. Yeah, exactly. So yung pinangalan namin na less than 10% of that time, kung i-reverse mo kayo, sabihin natin ito, and that's just 95%. So we are giving. So I hope we have a complete numbers already, the real complete, kasi I think even the other leaders will also consider the cost.
So anyway, the comment, yes, before we answer
Ano comment po dun sa sinasabi ni Colonel yung sa agency po? Yung understanding ko dito sa namin po, dito sa regime is magbibigay kami based on per kilo. And we will pay based on per kilo, based on the cargo that we will forward and reverse. So there is possibility na if ABC or paano man po yung magiging contract price based dun sa magiging tip namin, is hindi po mapoconsume or ma-utilize lahat because yung iba po is na-forward na. Yeah? Tama po ba yung understanding? That's why per kilo po yung ibigin namin. So, sa mindset namin, hindi naman namin dapat kikitain yung nandiyan. So, kung ano din yung available volume.
Yes, that's right.
Mag-base lang kami dun sa actual. So,
Yes, sir. Based sa QR code, since malaki na po yung ABC natin, based pa rin po sa actual rate yung babayaran po yung okay. Is that okay, sir?
Mr. Chair, if I may flash on the screen the viewer, it says there, the above ABC is clearly an estimate for budget purposes and does not entitle the winning bidder to claim the entire amount we propose during the bidding program. Payments to winning bidder shall be based on the actual or exact total weight of delivered cargo of the season. Thank you.
So any other issues or concerns? Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Certification for good order safety in preparation ng mga technical documents. So, yung understanding namin, we will just pick one technical document for all the labs na mag-participate po kami. We will just submit to sa financial kung that 1, 2, 3, and 4 po yung sasabihin namin. Pero for sa technical, isa lang po yung document. Opo, isa lang envelope po for technical po. Kaya lang just make sure po na kung sasali po kayo sa more than one land, dapat po may separate big security kada land po. Kasi sa kaya, yung kasama ko sa mga tanong ko lang yun. Yung sa SLCC po, isa-isa din. Yung sa SLCC ba, meron po dun sa port po natin. Sa SLCC ba, halimbawa sasali po kayo sa lahat. Tapos po yung pinakamalaki doon, ano yung recognition. Kunyari po, yung pinakamalaking ABC po ay sa Euro at sa Middle East, yung 55. So, definitely po, yung SLCC na gagamitin nyo dito, applicable na siya dun sa iba. Kaya lang po, dun sa form, applicable na siya. Ito ma'am, ito sa annex B, ang gagawin nyo na lang po ma'am, indicate nyo po kung anong class numbers. Tapos dito rin mga may nakalagay po dito na, ito ma'am, the bidder will use the same completed contract for each class being bid provided na in the submitted that is completed contract, magpo-comply siya sa completion for that. So let's say ma'am, yung sa class 3, 55 million po yun. At halimbawa mo isang contract lang yung gagamitin nyo po. So, 50%. Let's say meron kayong 30 million na contract halimbawa po. So, applicable na rin po siya sa last 1, 2, at 4. Bali, ang instruction na lang, lalagay nyo na lang po dito kung ano-ano po naman natin. Really, ma'am. So, sa omnibus naman po, yan yung din gagawin namin. Sa omnibus, ma'am, isa lang po para sa lahat. Pag dito naman po makita nyo ma'am yung form, dapat. Ito ma'am, nakalagay po dyan. Yan. Identify the lot novice being with no need to submit separate OSS per lot. So, kung sasali po kayo sa apat na lot, indicate nyo lang po dito lot 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hindi na po kailangan hiwa-hiwalay kagad. Ang meron lang po na hiwa-hiwalay kada lot for technical component is the bid security. Yun lang po. That's na po. Yung sa TOR, we will just try to comply for each access.
Yes ma'am, dun sa TOR ma'am, dito po, may nakalagay lang po dyan na lalagay, pipirmahan niyo lang po yung conformity. Ito ma'am, yan. Pag dito sa Annex TOR, pirmahan lang po ito ng bidder. Tapos ma'am, yung technical specs na form, yung Annex 8 natin. Dito po, yan, lalagyan niyo lang po dito ng comply sa ano po, yung bawat requirements po dun sa kabilang site niya, lagyan niyo lang po yung word na comply. And then po, sign po ng authorized representative.
Kung sa Annex L, supply and delivery management plan, we will just copy paste lang po kayo dun sa formula.
Ito pong Annex L po, isasabit niyo po to if ma-award po sa inyo yung contract. For purposes of bid submission, you don't need to submit this. Isasabit niyo po yan kapag na-issue po sa inyo yung notice of award within 10 calendar days, kasama po yung performance, security, and everything. But for purposes of bid submission, hindi niyo pa po yan kailangan i-submit.
Thank you, that will be all.
Thank you, Madam.
Any other questions? There's no any questions? There are no questions?
Sir, always refer to the checklist. So, kung makita ko kung ano bang hindi ba nasasabit, so, yun, yung proposal na saan siya, parang very easy for the PWG to check. Meron siyang pages, may OSS, ganun. So, yung checklist mo yun. So, that will serve as well. I may question consequences.
According po dito isa on a per lot basis po, tama po ba?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Example lang po. I participate for lot one. But the rest of the bidders participated for the four lots, which sa lot one, yari mababa yung sa ano, sir. Tapos the rest po is mababa naman sila sa ibang lot. How would we go consider po yung award ng negotiated?
Per lot po yun, ma'am. Kasi,
So, makikita sa per lot po talaga.
yes, ma'am. Kasi iba-ibang regions naman po yun. Iba-ibang area. So, kung sa lot 1 ka, ikaw po yung magde-deliver sa region.
Question.
Yes, ma'am.
My concerns for the SLCC, no, I just wanted to see what your thoughts are on this particular requirement. Being that last time, we were able to come up with the amount, however, you said that it's not, wasn't mine because of the service, but also the siya. I have in mind the service that we're able to provide to a particular client and the service has been going on for 8 years at least. And we're able to come up with that amount that required to meet the SLCC. However, back then, wala kang mga contractors since wala kang na na nagkakaroon ng contract agreement. At best, we can get the end user acceptance, a statement from the client saying that we are able to satisfactorily meet their requirements and such. What are your thoughts on that? We could have need that SLCC for.
What they say is that they do not have a copy of the contract because at the time they entered into the agreement. Wala silang pinirmahan na contract.
Wala po.
Unless
Ano po yung proof na agreement ninyo with the
paying
other party?
invoices, paying invoices. Certification and insert that certification to be signed by them.
How can we verify? How can we verify that there is such an agreement that yung total amount would be
Our
compliant with the requirement?
our paying for our accounting system, we're able to do print it and have it notarized and by our internal audit or our officers notarized. That it's a true amount.
Anong documents na meron po kayo?
Invoices and forms. Previous yes, we can, pero kasi kami 5-year retention period eh. So, baka hindi na comply. But yes, we will be.
Within the 8-year period din po yun?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Pero may agreement is there a document showing
Yung engagement niyo ba? Paano kayo nag-engage na? Okay.
sasalit po kasi ng rate and then we would just contract the services. So, may mga quotation basis. Well, sa amin kasi doctor. So, hindi mo the time, no? So, this is going on for this. So, you do that. How do we, for, may SLA agreements between us. May mga agreements kami on transit. May mga SLA. So, acceptance, time. May mga, and then there are claims process in place. Kasi may every bill naman po yun eh. Sa dito na every bill in terms of conditions at agreements. So, yun yung nag-uphold.
They put forward a part where you have to sign that you agree those conditions.
On the airway bill. Every sa way bill in terms of condition kasi lahat ng shipments covered by the way bill and then you feel like yung client sa way bill.
Maybe when it is required then, we can allow them to submit all pertinent documents that would show that there is an agreement. But that will be subject to post-qualification. That's only for purposes of dissertation.
Okay, thank you.
After all, sir, there is a what we're looking for is a written form of that law. We need to authorize somebody out. So we need someone in mind so that we have basis. Ano meron yan? Sige, you have to submit and then siguro use qualification.
And one proof that there is such an agreement. Any other questions? Or issues? Wala na po. So kung wala na po, our tentative schedule for the submission will be on April 15, 2025. If there will be any adjustments, we'll be informing the parties. So if you have any other announcements, I mean,
Yes, Mr. Chair. So again, the submission of your bid proposal, this is your best and final offer. So, according to the rules, kasi they term it as best and final offer in the negotiated procurement setup. So that will be on tentative. And even you, sir, then we will be, if, yung tungkol dun sa schedule requirements, yun lang talaga yung urgent na ma-move siya. Our opening of bid proposals will be on April 15, 10:30 a.m. at the lobby because of work. So that's all. So pag may mga questions, you can as to the submission lang, okay, we can accommodate. Thank you.
so with that, there being no other matters to be discussed, we will now adjourn this negotiation proceedings. Thank you and good afternoon.